Shout out to my people. Shout out to my people. Sending love, positivity, and good vibes to my people, man. I hope you guys are doing good today. I'm doing great. Today we got a clip of O'Shea Jackson, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you guys hop into my bio where you guys can follow my other platforms. So I love you guys. Let's get it.
Now, as you know, the Redskins, I believe, clinched the playoffs at that particular time yesterday, I believe. And, Antonio Brown made a statement on this, and he says, why the whole NFL married to white women? Now, there is a lady who basically used to work in the NFL for agencies, and she has a reason why that is.
So the NBA draft just passed and everyone's still wondering about why every single professional athlete seems to have a white girlfriend or a girlfriend who's like super light skin, almost white. So I worked a whole entire year in marketing and sports for professional athletes, but I also live in Miami, so I've met a lot of like professional athletes as well, just because it's Miami. And let me tell you something. When there's a black man, especially a black man who's come from a predominantly like black community, right? And he's about to go into the NFL, NBA draft, whatever the case may be, and they're waving millions of dollars in his face for endorsements, brand deals, sponsorships, whatever the case may be, the brands most of the time want proximity to whiteness. So that means whatever the brand wants, they're going to get. And especially when you have managers and agents who are like money driven and who know they're going to get that 3 to 5% cut off of that athlete, they're going to encourage the athlete to date a white woman. They're going to encourage that athlete to date women who are very light skinned and also have a very classy persona on social media, because that's what brands are going to pay the most money for. Because a lot of times when you have athletes, especially who come from like predominantly black communities and a lot of times low income communities, and this is kind of like their golden ticket out of the hood, if that makes sense, they're going to do whatever it takes to get that money, especially when there's millions of dollars on the line and they're not used to money.
Man, she tripping.
And this black man basically has weighed in on it also.
Okay, so black men choose white women because white women are very easy to deal with. Aside from the fact that they're the most beautiful women in the whole entire world.
He tweaking. I don't believe that. I think it's beautiful. Black women, Latino women, Mexican, white. There's beautiful women all the way across the board.
They're just easy. They know their place. They know their role. They're not trying to be the man in the relationship. They're trying to be the woman in the relationship. The reason why they leave certain women is because those women were trying to be the man in the relationship. Overly aggressive, overly hyper, it ain't gonna work. When you're playing football, it's one captain. Hike, not hike twice. Playing basketball, it's one captain. When you're doing anything, even if you're sailing a ship, one captain. Either going left or you're going right. So a man wants consistency. He needs to be the alpha male and he needs to.
Now, I believe this lady who has a black husband, she basically asked her black husband, like, hey, why do black men marry white women?
I think some black men just love them a good white woman.
Because some white women are good to them.
Wait a minute. Okay.
You guys see that energy? You see, the black woman. You see her energy is really feminine. She still can sit there and laugh. They can communicate about, maybe rough situations or scenarios, and they can laugh about it and it's nothing.
And so the thing is this, when I look at this situation, when I'm looking at Jeremy Reeves in his life, and of course the lady that he's dealing with, she seems like the kind of white lady that a lot of guys would go. Like, again, I don't see, no BBLs needed, anything like that. He went to South Alabama. He's a guy that he was undrafted in 2018, and he basically had to become a special teamer. So she's basically been there for the whole entire time, all right? He's been on the Redskins roster for 2018, and I'm probably sure that his career was not going to be guaranteed, and she probably was with him when he didn't really have a whole lot, and she's still there now. So, I mean, I don't know what to say, man. How many ladies in the black community are dealing with a guy like this when they don't really have a whole lot, or where they could be promised a lot? I'm not necessarily sure, but it just goes to show that a lot of the sisters out there, are saying that, hey, you need to have a big butt, or you need to have a big breast, or all that kind of stuff. I mean, I just think that it comes to just how much of a good mate can you be to a man, regardless of race. And I think that we forget about that when we talk about, is a woman white, is a woman black? No, obviously you have to be a man's type or a woman's type. That does help. But a lot of times what helps is, hey, can you be a faithful mate? Can you be somebody that, I can trust, that I can, count on? And that's something that I think that a lot of times we forget. And when these women get there with these black men coming from another community and they're riding it out, they've been there the whole time, they've been riding it out, yeah, they're gonna get wifed up because they've been there when it wasn't guaranteed. And a man is most likely, regardless of race, is always going to be willing to deal with a woman when she's been there or he knew her from the jump. Like, a lot of men are loyal to women that they knew when they didn't have anything. Now that can change, but typically a guy wants to be with a woman. I'm not saying he's gonna be faithful, but look, if he can be there with a woman when she first got there and she knew he didn't have nothing and she liked him, he gonna rock with her. And a lot of times, sisters, you never know what these men are gonna become. And we talk about a lot of black men get counted out. I always tell the story, I'm gonna tell it again. I knew of a guy who was a firefighter. This guy lived in Pittsburgh, Antioch area, okay? He was married to this chick, beautiful chick, dark skin, big tatas and everything like that. And they was married. It was a young couple that had a baby. She was getting disinterested in a relationship, another dude that got in her ear. And the dude that got in her ear was a light-skinned dude with a lot of swag, but he didn't have any money. So she was like, listen, I want a divorce. I want to move on with somebody else. And the dude was like, listen, I really want to stay with you. I love you. I don't see what the problem is. But she was like, nah, So he had to get up out of there, and he had to go back in and move with his mom. So she went on with this other guy. Of course, she throwing it on his face and Facebook. This is my new family. It's my new man. The families are disgruntled because she done left her husband for this dude. So he took it in stride. He wasn't, so salty about it. If he did, he kept it in. And my man went out there and he built himself up. You know what I'm saying? He did his thing. Then what ended up happening? The brother ended up finishing firefighter school. Once he finished firefighter school, again, he was determined. He basically hold on. This is what we gonna do. We gonna basically get the bag up. Okay, we gonna get this bag up. And that's exactly what he did. He got that bag up. And he started working his behind off. He bought him a new house. And then what did he do? He went out there and he found a new female. He got a new female completely. So the female looked better than this other chick. He bought a new house. She was struggling and she never saw it coming. She thought this dude was just gonna be there the whole time. That dude, he basically did very, very well. And who laughing now? And I think in the black community, a lot of women just misjudge a lot of the men you're dealing with. You don't really know what that dude is going to become. I mean, the same thing with athletes. A lot of times we count people off and we don't know how good somebody's going to become.
So how do you guys feel about the situation? Me, I can kind of see what he's saying, but, to kind of side with black women, I do think that we come from, rougher and harsher conditions. So it's harder for a woman to see the potential in most guys because, they don't have the time, if you catch what I'm saying. Not in every single situation and scenario, but for the most part, they're looking for the person right now because, they don't have time to really vet and wait for the potential aspect. I don't believe all black women date, horrible guys, because in my situation, what made me, even start dating out of my race is I was in that environment. I went from going to an all black school to a predominantly white school. So with that transformation, you know, I'd never even really seen white girls to ending up growing up and being around them 24/7. So I think it's just, you know, different variables that come into place. But let me know how you guys feel. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you guys hop into my bio, or you guys can follow my other social media platforms. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. We out.